From Neural Newscast, this is Deep Dive, exploring the moments that shape today.
Welcome to the show. I am Lila Grant, and you are listening to Deep Dive. And I am Margaret Ellis. Today, we are looking at the legacy of April 23rd, a date where the records of chivalry, literature, and even the mechanics of the calendar itself converge in some truly unexpected ways. We are starting our timeline way back in 1348. Margaret, you have been digging into the archival filings for one of the most exclusive clubs in history. What exactly happened at Windsor Castle all those centuries ago? It was on this day that King Edward III founded the Order of the Garter. It remains the oldest and most senior British order of chivalry. Even today, it is incredibly restricted, limited to the monarch, the Prince of Wales, and just 24 companion knights. It is essentially the gold standard for institutional prestige. But the story behind the name isn't exactly what you would expect from a bunch of knights in heavy armor. When you look into the origin, it actually sounds like a viral moment waiting to happen at a high society party. The primary legend suggests that during a court ball, a lady's garter fell to the floor. To save her from embarrassment, King Edward retrieved it and strapped it to his own leg. He supposedly said, "Honi soit qui mal y pense." Shame on him who thinks evil of it. That is quite the clapback for the 14th century. He basically turned a wardrobe malfunction into a motto for the highest honor in the land. It established a record of chivalry that has lasted nearly 700 years. It is a perfect example of how a singular human moment can be codified into a permanent system of honor. It is wild how that legacy holds up. And speaking of legacies that just won't quit, we have to talk about the man who practically invented the way we tell stories today. Of course, William Shakespeare, born in 1564. While his exact birth date is traditionally observed on this day, his baptismal records in Stratford-upon-Avon confirm his arrival into a world he would eventually redefine through 37 plays and over 100 sonnets. I mean, Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, Macbeth, he is the ultimate influencer. But April 23rd isn't just for the classics. We have some modern heavy hitters on the list today, too. We do. Moving forward to 1974, we have John Oliver. He has built a career on investigating systems and corporate filings with a satirical edge that feels very much in line with the transparency work we track here. His show Last Week Tonight is a total staple for anyone following the news. He has this way of making deep dive research actually hilarious. And then jumping to 1995, we have Gigi Hadid. Gigi Hadid has become a central figure in the modern fashion industry, walking for every major designer and appearing on countless covers. Her career represents the shift in how fashion and celebrity intersect in the digital age. She is a total powerhouse on social media. It is quite a range for one day, from Shakespeare's stage to John Oliver's desk and Gigi's runway. While we are on the subject of Shakespeare, Lila, there is a technical anomaly from the year 1616 that we need to clear up for the record. It is often said that April 23rd is the day the world lost its two greatest writers. You mean William Shakespeare and Miguel de Cervantes? People call it a remarkable literary coincidence that they both died on the same date in the same year. On paper, yes, but the archives tell a different story. In 1616, Spain was using the Gregorian calendar, while England was still using the Julian calendar. This created a 10-day drift between the two systems. Wait, so even though they both have April 23rd written on their records, they didn't actually die on the same day? Exactly. Cervantes actually died 10 days before Shakespeare. It is a fascinating case of operational drift, where the intent of a date doesn't align with the physical reality of the timeline. That is such a classic Margaret fact, but it is still a poetic enough coincidence that UNESCO chose this date for World Book Day back in 1995, right? They did. They wanted to commemorate the deaths of these giants of literature. So while the calendars might not perfectly sync, the cultural impact of April 23rd certainly does. It is the perfect day to pick up a book, whether it is Don Quixote or a collection of sonnets. From royal garters to supermodels and calendar glitches, this day has it all. Indeed, a day defined by the records we keep and the stories we choose to tell. For more deep dives into the narratives that shape our world, visit deepdive.neuralnewscast.com. I'm Margaret Ellis. And I am Lila Grant. Deep Dive is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. Explore history every day on Neural Newscast.
This has been Deep Dive on Neural Newscast, exploring the moments that shape today.